Hey guys, welcome back to the SRU Campus Rec YouTube channel. This session today, we're going to be focusing on doing a dynamic and static stretching / mobility session for the shoulders. So, to start off with, where we're going to start off with is the table twist. You might have seen this back when we posted our first hip workout, actually. So for this, as you can see, originally getting down into this table position, being down on all fours, and then pressing up to get into that table position, and then as I'm pressing out, I'm also twisting at the hips in order to stretch out a bit of the back, but also get that compressive load onto that shoulder, which can help with kind of getting some blood flowing to the shoulder and also kind of potentiating that joint for any type of pressing exercise you guys might end up doing following the warm-up. So the next thing I have is a straight arm shoulder circle. So with this one, I'm keeping my arm straight, and for all of these exercises I'm doing them all for 10 reps. So in this case, I'm doing 10 reps forwards and also going to be doing 10 reps backwards. So now going backwards now, you might not notice this, but with these specifically, what I'm trying to focus on is almost kind of pushing my arm into my shoulder socket, just to try to keep it in that joint, and then I'm just kind of moving the arm just to kind of get blood flowing around to those muscles that help with moving the joint itself. This will help with just general range of motion and mobility, as I had stated earlier, and also helps along with a lot of the other dynamic exercises that we're going to be doing with just getting blood to those regions that you're going to work out. So alright, so the next exercise we're going to be doing is a shoulder shrug. Again, I'm doing this for 10 reps forwards and backwards. So this will help with not only warming up the shoulders, but also working the shoulder girdle itself. So that's going to include both the scapula and also the humerus and the acromial clavicle joint, which all has to do with just generally helping that shoulder joint and the muscles that surround it with stability and just general range of motion. So as you can see with this, I'm going very kind of almost outward as far as I can with the shoulder rolls, just to try and get as much movement in that joint as possible to kind of help with opening up those muscles. So next thing I'm doing here is a chest hug. This will help with warming up not only the chest, but also the shoulders and even a bit into the triceps as well. So it's a bit different than other chest flies, that you might have seen from last week. Because in this case, again, I'm trying to go out as far back as I can, kind of pulling the shoulder blades together, but at the same time, I am getting that squeeze in the chest that you would find when you're trying to do any form of chest exercise. So the last one we have for the dynamic is a wall ride. In this case, this is going to help with warming up the rear delts and the shoulders. And it's kind of hard to see here. You'll probably see it here when we go to a side profile of it. But you want to try and keep your arms as flush against the wall as you can as you're riding up. Bring them up over your head, almost so that your hands touch then, and then just bring it back down till you're down on that 45-degree angle where your elbows are beneath the shoulders. So with this one itself, it is kind of difficult starting off with to keep your arms flush against the wall, but that can be something to work on later on. So moving into static stretching now, we have just a crossbody shoulder stretch. So as you can see here, in this case, I'm actually kind of grabbing onto my tricep, and doing so, I'm then kind of pulling it away from to the opposite side of my body. So at least with this case, with this hand grip, you'll definitely feel a lot more also in your rear delts than what you normally would if it was more of a passive stretch that you might find, where you're just kind of holding onto the arm or kind of cradling the arm. So again, this is just another hand position you can use just to kind of either help with gripping and make sure you have a nice hold on the tricep to get the stretch going, or just for comfortability. So along with all these static stretches I'm currently showing, they're all lasting for 30 seconds. So again, with all these static stretches, I always say it's you want to focus on your breathing to try and get as deep into that stretch as you can. Again, slow, about 4-second inhale through your nose, and then about 6-second exhale through your mouth. So next, moving on from here, I have a behind the back stretch that you might have seen from last week's video. As you can see here, I'm using my hands as a guide, and I'm pulling my hands up as high as I can against my back. Once I kind of can't bring my hands up any further, then I'm pulling the shoulder blades together. And then you're going to start feeling the stretch not only along the chest, but also along the front delts of your shoulders. So again, with a lot of these, we're taking to the point of mild discomfort. We're not trying to cause pain. It's all just to the point where we're kind of getting that stretch in the muscle, but not to the point where we're also causing damage. So the next stretch that we're doing here, it's another chest stretch you might have seen from last week's video. It's just a wall stretch, but in this case, I have my actual shoulder socket up against the wall itself, and I'm just kind of putting my weight forward against that shoulder joint itself, just to kind of get a bit of a deeper stretch into that chest, and also a bit into the shoulders as well. So from here, this is just another variation of the chest stretch. In this case, I have my arm fully extended. I should actually have my arm almost perpendicular with my body and not at a 45-degree angle. But doing so again, you're going to get the chest stretch along the outside of the pec, and then along with that, it's also going to work the front delts as well. So moving on from here then, I then just have a overhead tricep stretch. So with these, it's obviously you want to bring your head or your arm back behind your head. In this case, you're also using your head to kind of push your arm back, not only so you can keep your neck in a neutral position, so it's not heavily flex forward or heavily extended backwards, but also in doing so, it can also help with stretching out the tricep and the shoulder as well. So with the one arm over top of the shoulder, over behind the head rather, my other hand is pushing down on the elbow, which you can actually see better here, just to kind of help with pushing again that joint and also getting a better stretch into that shoulder region. Again, with some of these stretches, only if you don't have that much range of motion in the shoulder, that's fine. It's just going to the point of you can feel the stretch, and then you can just work from there and just continually over time build up your range of motion. Alright, so moving on from here, it's we have a lat stretch. In this case, I'm doing it single arm. You can also do this double arm, and that's more of a table lat stretch. So in this case, I have my one arm up against the table. You can also do this off your bed or chair if you want to, or any form of kind of like counter or anything. So as you can see, I have my arm lying against the desk, and then I'm just kind of pulling my weight down, and doing so also kind of squatting down just to kind of help with stretching out not only the lats but also the rear delts, which are often a underworked muscle group of the shoulder girdle itself. And if you're not generally working out those muscles, it can often cause kind of heavily rounded forward shoulders and cause just general shoulder pain. So as you can see now, along with this though, I should point out that I didn't do it myself. So you also want to try and have a flat back. You don't want to have this kind of rounded back that I have here. It should be more of a flat back. Also when doing this, you're trying to engage the core as well, just with general stability. So moving on to our last stretch of the day, we're just doing a child's pose. So as normal, I get into the position. I'm trying to keep my butt down up against my heels. Unfortunately, it's a bit difficult for me at the moment because I have lacking mobility in my knee. However, just try and go down as far as you can in this pose itself. Especially for this one, we're trying to stretch out the shoulders, so it works. However, it can be something that you have to work on for that motion. Anyway, so I have my hands fully extended out in front of my head, and then I'm just kind of pushing my body weight down, again trying to stretch out the lats, but also the rear delts of the shoulder. So, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and also go ahead and check out Luke's hit session tonight. He has some information for you guys.